Hi there. Thank you for visiting my website and thank you for clicking on this video, which gives me an opportunity just to introduce myself and a few of the services we render. To kick off with, I would just like to mention that this video is not professionally produced or rounded off with some special effects or whatever, and it's not intended to be, because I would like to come across to you as naturally and spontaneously as possible, so that what you now see is going to be pretty much what you're going to get. Yes, so I'm trying to relax a little bit, because for me it's way much easier to stand before a crowd, your family and your friends marrying you, than to talk into a webcam to an invisible and nameless viewer. Okay, my name is Johan Botha. I'm based in the northern suburbs of Cape Town. Of course, yeah, let's say it. It's in South Africa. And I've been in the ministry for more than 35 years, during which term I've married numerous couples, or mostly members of the church. But for the past 10 years, I've been running the service and have presided at more years, way more than 1,000 weddings. I've stopped counting. And so, yes, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, not only to tie the knot on your wedding day, but to meet new couples and to interact with them. So many couples have become friends, and consequently, I've had the privilege to dedicate quite a number of babies of the couples I've married in the past. Yeah, so I've met and married many couples from across the world. I'm thinking specifically on this one wedding we had on the beach in East London. So we married the couple in East London, and then when their first anniversary came up, they invited me to Stockholm, to Sweden, for the renewal of their vows. So I went over to Stockholm, and the Saturday evening we had a very nice formal dinner and with their family and friends, and so they renewed their vows. Okay, that's enough about myself. So now, talking about you, you have the daunting task to decide upon someone to marry you, and some couples find it quite difficult to do so, understandably, because you've got to bring in a stranger. Well, hopefully we're not going to be strangers when I marry you, but bringing in a stranger to your family and friends at least, and you don't want to feel uncomfortable or be embarrassed in front of family and friends. So I always say to couples that I don't lecture them on their wedding day on all the ins and outs of married life, but I like most of the times to share something that which the audience or your family and guests can also relate to, so they don't get the idea I'm just busy with the two of you. Okay, that's my style. And but in this regard, I will send you, along with my quotation, I'll send you a number of testimonials of clients which will speak for itself. Okay, concerning the program and the order of the ceremony, I get together with couples to meet and greet and to discuss and plan their ceremony, and of course also to get the input as to the duration and the content of the ceremony. And yeah, speaking about content, I'd like to work in a little bit of humor when it's appropriate. Of course, I don't crack jokes on your wedding day, but having talked about humor, reminds me about the ceremony where the couple during the interview said to me, Johan, please, no humor at our ceremony at all. So we were on the west coast. I think it was Eiserfontein or Langebaan, one of those beaches. And the couple had this idea that when I would introduce them after the signing of the register, then when I introduced them as husband and wife, then instead of being showered with rose petals or confetti, whatever, each guest will receive a balloon, and then the balloons will be released. So there was this teenager girl standing on the beach quite near to me with a bunch of 95 balloons in her hand. So halfway through the ceremony, her little hand grew tired, and she tried to replace it to the other hand, and so 2 balloons slipped out. And she let go of all the balloons, tried to catch that too. And so 95 balloons went skyward. So the guests and the family looked at me, and I looked at them, and they started giggling, and then they started laughing, and then the couple laughed, and then eventually I laughed as well. So when we signed the register in the restaurant afterwards, I had kept a very straight face. So I said to them, guys, I really want to apologize for what happened at your wedding today. I know, what's wrong, Johan? What's wrong? I said, all the laughing at your wedding. So we had another good laugh about all the balloons on that day. Yeah, so let me get back to where I've been before. Yeah, so we speak about also the nitty-gritty. Who stands where, when to walk in, the groom meeting the bride, where to position yourself. We talk about exchanging of the rings and the changing of the vows. And this is not really rocket science, but I like to go through that with a couple so that on your wedding day, when you're in the moment, that you will feel comfortable. And what I also try to do is to let you guys relax and enjoy the moment. Otherwise, it's like, just like that, it's over. Okay, during such an interview, the couple don't have to keep notes of what we say and what we do, because I'd like to send you a complete outline of the ceremony with your formal questions, with your vows, with your exchanging of your rings, everything included, so that you can have a look at the program and then let me know whether you approve of that. Should you not live in Cape Town or near Cape Town, it's quite convenient. I find it quite convenient, or also effective, to meet with couples via Skype, and we do this quite often. Okay, let me touch on a few frequently asked questions. The duration of the ceremony. Maybe you like to have a ceremony of 2.5 hours. Okay. I'm just pulling your leg. The duration will be determined by you, but most of the time the ceremony is about 20 to 25 minutes, so nobody gets bored and nobody gets tired. But on the other hand, you don't want to rush through your wedding ceremony. So if you like me to stretch it a bit or to stretch it a lot, it can be done. Paying of a deposit. I do not insist on a deposit up front, as most of my colleagues do. But most couples prefer to pay a deposit to secure my services. How soon do we meet? Once again, it'll depend on you. Some couples like to meet as soon as possible, and others prefer to meet nearer to the date of the wedding. Where do we meet? The couples living in the northern suburbs are most of the time, I would meet them at Tiger Valley, or couples living in the southern suburbs, Tableview, Surrounds, or even Simonstown, Fischhoek. Most of the times I would meet those couples at Canal Walk. Do you have to apply for a marriage license at Home Affairs or give them notice to the department of your intended marriage? Short answer is no. You do not have to submit any documents to the department, or even after the wedding. I take care of the paperwork. Should a South African bride assume the surname of a South African groom, then of course after the data capturing has been done and you've acquired your new status as married, then you as bride can apply for a new smart card or a new ID card. So when requesting a quotation, do mention the time of your wedding and also where the venue is going to be, whether it's Stellenbosch or Saldanha or Simonstown or Timbuktu. Okay, I haven't been to Timbuktu as yet. Nevertheless, if it's in Timbuktu, let me know. I'll have to work out the traveling expenses. Okay. Okay, then you're also welcome to tell me something about yourselves. Where do you live? Cape Town or wherever? What country? And And then, if you're not a South African, I would also like to know your nationality. And if there are any further questions I haven't touched on, then of course you're most welcome to add your questions when requesting a quotation from me. Along with the quotation, I will send you an informational package consisting of a summary of the documents that will be required. And then I also send you some examples of vows, and also what we call ring options, what you're going to say to each other when you change rings. And then I've got a very informative article on the drawing and the registration of a prenuptial contract, but I could let you have the contact details of an attorney who's got a very fair fee for this service. Then there's another attachment called Tips for the Bride on a Wedding Day. And then, of course, there's also a summary of my services and responsibilities. Yeah, so thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to me. And you are most welcome to send me an email, to which I will respond as soon as possible. Thank you and goodbye, and have a nice day. And there's a saying, we fall in love. So in the meantime, don't fall out of love. Keep well. I'm looking forward to meet you. Bye-bye.